Hello everybody. Today we're going to look into how to manage users and employees inside your SuiteCRM system. Okay, so let's go. So let's look into employees and users. Just a quick words before we start. So you can use the system as well for employer branding and for onboarding journeys for your applicants, and even for integration with job applicant forms online, and then it goes directly here. Maybe if you want to scale this a little bit, you want to look into separate modules or build your separate modules and process for this and not use the standard ones, because you'll see this in a bit why not. So first of all, let's look into the admin area with the users, because here we've already started, or if you want to check out my video on the user management, and then you will see how that works in detail. I'm just going quickly into this. So I had an issue with the caching, but with F5 or refresh, I was able to get rid of this issue. So the first thing that I want to do, I want to create employee 1. I'll just copy this one because the last name is employee as 1, extremely creative. And the job title would be, let's create the CEO first. And then you can fill out all the details. Why not? Maybe the department, or like the work phone. Where is it there? So here we've got the work phone filled in. And I simply add the password as well and save this. So I don't have to set up any roles or something. I just want to go back to the users, and you can see I'm building up the logic here, or like the table with all the users that later on should be able to use the CRM system. Now I want to create a new user, and I would call this new user the employee number 2. And the employee number 2 is maybe the head of marketing or CMO or similar. And then this person reports directly to the CEO. And then we've got a work phone as well. So we need to have a password, otherwise I can't save this here. Again, I don't want to have any roles or something, so totally fine. I go back to my users, and as you can see, that looks good. We've got the CEO, the CMO already set up, and they would be able to log in now as well. So just to show and demonstrate how this works, if I log in as, so I'm changing to an incognito window and log in as an employee 2. Now I would run through the welcome onboarding wizard and click next. Okay, finish. And as you can see, now I'm employee 2. And the difference is I don't have access to the admin area. So now one issue here, just in case you want to grant employee 2 or like any other non-standard, non-admin user, the standard user, permissions to manage employees, you will have this issue here. So click on it, and the CRM tells me that I'm not allowed or not authorized. So there's a bit of an issue, which I mentioned before. If you want to scale this a little bit, if you have like people working on the onboarding, and they should not be SuiteCRM admin users, and therefore you might most likely need to build your custom modules up and then grant roles accordingly. Let's move back to the admin user. So now there is one more option that we can do. So here we've got our users. Let's look into the employees here. So if I switch over, I see roughly the same like before. So it's like a table as well. The view is more or less similar. You will see the employee status, and you will see the reports too. So here we can build up our structure now, and or hierarchy. It can be even multiple level deep, this hierarchy. And we will be able to fill in some more details here as well. So now if we're working in the employees, and then the CMO is working most likely in the marketing department, and then I would save this, go back to the employees overview. You can see this works as well. And then we've got an overview of this one with the departments. So what happens now if you want to add an employee only? So let's say employee number 3. And this employee number 3, let's just give it a try. So last name, employee number 3. And the job title would be marketing manager. And this person is working in the marketing department as well and reports to the CMO here. And we've got an office phone, which might be something like this. You can fill in the rest as well. So if you have like the address or whatever, then we'll show as well. But for our purposes, that's totally fine. What I want to show here, first of all, is as you can see, you are able to build a hierarchy here, and then you could even create reports and group by whoever is assigned to what or something. So that works as well. So you can create, but it's not like an hierarchy graphical view, but it's more like a standard report, like a raw record, like rows. And then you can still group it or whatever. In order to make this really visible, you would still need to export the data and have it inside some visualization or business intelligence software which can produce the reports accordingly. So, but now we've got all of our employees listed here. Let's go back to the users and see what happened there. So that is an interesting one because the employee 3 has been created here as well. So it is possible for me as an admin to see there is yet another user, but this user is without the username. So the admin would know, okay, this user doesn't have access to the CRM system. Maybe you're rolling out the CRM first for marketing and sales, and the customer service comes later on in the process when you've built up all the data and the processes or whatever. And then therefore you can already create the employees for the customer support as well, but you don't want to have them as a user so far because they can't use the system as they're supposed to use it. So if you want to update now something in the employee 3, you will see that this one is a bit special as well. So I can click on edit. I could update the work phone just in case the phone or whatever else changed, but I can't save it because, as you can see, the username is not filled in and the password the same for the password. So therefore I can't update the data from here. I need to move back to the employee module, and then I can update the telephone number from here in case it changed. So you need to pay attention to this because this is kind of interconnected here, and you'll have to see whether this works for you. So when would it work? If you have like a very simple, mostly user-centric management, then all the users that you have in your CRM system, you just create them there, and the admin has access to the employee module. If this is sufficient, then totally fine. If this is not sufficient, then you would need to figure out some custom modules. So what you could do, or what we would have done before in another project, was, for instance, every time you create a new user, employee was just the standard as well, didn't touch this, but there was automatically another employee internal module, and one record has been created there. And then you could grant access to the HR department to manage records inside the internal employee module, for instance. If you want to integrate the whole system with applicant onboarding, applicant application process, and so on, then you would need additional modules for integration with your forms that you've got out there in the web, which will transfer the data into some specific modules, and later on you will have your HR department working on those 2, 3, 4 modules then, in order to have some proper matching the status of the applicant in the application journey or process. So if you want to scale it, you will need to look into customization. If this one is fine with you, that's what SuiteCRM can do out of the box. And with a little bit of an oddity, if I switch back here to the employee number 2, that I just can't access this one here. So you need to be an admin in order to manage the employees. And that's probably a no-go in most departments, because HR doesn't have to have admin access, since they would then be able to do everything what an admin does as well. Okay, so far so good. That's all for this video. See you next time. Bye.